Dr. J got me right.
You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, you say you're hurting more than me, I think I hurt worse. I'm about to break it down to you in the first verse. You can judge me, but don't you grade my pain. Just because I'm missing mine, bitch, I feel pain. What you talking about? Feel like someone knocked me out. Put me in the figure four, leg lock, tap me out. I feel like Pacquiao when they fought Mayweather. You hit me, I can hit you back. I hate to say never, but never ever will I let you shit on me. I'm just a clever young nigga from the street. What? I hate people who be judging pain. He can take it, he a gangster, he don't feel no pain. Shit, now my life is like a nightmare. I try to give my life to God, but the devil, he don't fight fair. Pretty women, they don't fight fair. They try to wear them tight clothes, don't get mad, cause I might stare. Just remember I'm a slight player. You know how freaky I can get, I want the pussy, cause it's right there. Know I'm wrong and I might just go to hell for this, but that don't mean that I don't love you, let me tell you this. Just the thought of not having you, grabbing you. Turn that ass around, let my blade start stabbing you deep. Now I lay me down to sleep. What? I pray the Lord my soul to keep. What? If I should die before I wait. I pray the Lord my soul to take. Wait, I don't wanna die yet. Why you wanna leave me all alone? Don't wanna cry yet. I don't wanna die yet. Why you wanna leave me all alone? Don't wanna cry yet. They say a man don't cry, that's a goddamn lie. Say a man don't cry, that's a damn lie. Don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Yeah, judgment of niggas, man, I'm doing what I wanna, and I'm doing what I wanna, when I wanna, where I wanna, how I wanna. Cause I'm a man, I'ma do my thing, simple and plain. I don't gang bang, but I will bang. I'm a grown man, I ain't gotta explain a damn thing to a nigga. I pay my dues, real gangsters in this bitch walk about in my shoes. That's what you do, I bet you can't, I bet you ain't, I bet you won't. It's too much struggle. Yeah, I'm from the gutter, go ask my mother. That's how it is, I ain't even got no brother, I ain't got no sister. Now only child, living buck wild. I don't wanna smile, I don't wanna smile, nigga. Yeah. They say a man don't cry, that's a goddamn lie. Say a man don't cry, that's a goddamn lie. Don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, please tell me, girl, tell me. Don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me. Yeah.
Mira cuánto mira. Oi, Nin. Oi. Oi, Nin. Aqui é a tia. Pode? Vai, tia. Sai, tia.
Don't grade my pain, girl.
Dr. J got me right.
You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, don't grade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, you say you're hurting more than me, I think I hurt worse. I'm about to break it down to you in the first verse. You can judge me, but don't you grade my pain. Just because I'm missing mine, bitch, I feel pain. What you talking about? Feel like someone knocked me out. Put me in the figure four, leg lock, tap me out. I feel like Pacquiao when they fought Mayweather.
So let's run down the line. Let's run down the line. Open your eyes. And let's see. Let's start with the weakest link. We're going to start with who you think is the weakest link out of Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. A lot of people would say Devin, and I wouldn't be mad at him. A few people would say Teofimo. I wouldn't be mad at him. But my pick would probably be Teofimo Lopez. And I say that because even though he has a better chin than Devin Haney, I never really seen Devin Haney, when he boxed, get beat so bad. But like I said, man, those two losses, the imaginary loss and the actual loss, and even the Lomachenko fight, that was a different style to me. And when he fight his fight, I think he's a great boxer. And with Devin Haney, I approve of him being led by his father. I approve of that because his father hasn't turned him wrong since he was a child. And he kept him out the streets, and he brought him to Nevada and gave him the game and did all he could do to erase a loss. If it's true or not, I would have done the same for my child. Especially after you saw the video they tried to drop. Hell, it looked like he won that fight, so it was a robbery if he did try to pay. And in each instance, even in this instance, it's some fuckery that he's trying to get off of his son's record. So I don't know if you got children, but if you did and you got them in the sport of boxing, that would be hurtful. And you don't know what you would do in that situation. So I can't judge them or grade these guys' pain. Moving on to Teofimo. Self-inflicted. Great boxer. Tried to be a brawler against Kambosos and channel Mike Tyson. Terrible mistake. Mental issues. Family issues. Interfering with boxing. I respect T.O. Sr. because he could have been the alcoholic father that beat on his children and never got them into boxing. He could have been the alcoholic father that never went around Teofimo Lopez and did what he could as a father. Now, I don't know why Teofimo Sr. is an alcoholic. Maybe that's something for him to tell you. Maybe it was a childhood thing. Whatever the case may be, a lot of alcoholics out there judge Teofimo Sr. on YouTube. A lot of people that don't even be in their children's lives judge Teofimo Sr. on YouTube. And the people that have T.O. Sr. on their channel and allow him to act out, they should be judged because they're supposed to keep the content PG-13 or rated R. And when you got T.O. Sr. in a hot tub exposing himself and you laugh, that's an issue. But with T.O. questioning himself in the ring, of course I heard Devin say he figured me out, but he never questioned his ability. That's a big issue for me too. And the psyche is big when you in the ring. So with T.O., that's my issue with him. And we all see his weakness is guys that are agile and can move around. I heard somebody say on, I forget what's the guy named, Ant McQueen, on the Rise podcast last night. And he said some real cold, vicious shit. And it was true. And I salute that guy if somebody can get the message out. But he said that them guys were not running. And I salute him for saying that because a lot of you black boxing fans always use that R word. And I hate it. I despise it. Them guys were not running. Them guys were doing everything that they were taught in boxing. And you use the whole ring, and if you can't cut off the escape route, that's your fault. And I'm so glad he said it on the Rise podcast, because that's the excuse they give for Shakur. He's a runner, he's a track star. But it's your job to what? Yo, shout out to Aunt McQueen. Cut the fucking route off. Cut him off. Cut the ring off. What you heard, the Smoothie King. Right back at ya. He said Teofimo Lopez is trash. And that's his opinion. A lot of people can't really dispute that opinion, because he has shown you that he only really fights up to the level of this competition. And to me, I also agree with the Smoothie King. That's trash behavior if you're a professional. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all had a chance to go to the Super Bowl a couple of years. Not recently, but in the past. And you guys only play up to your competition. I didn't like that. Moving on from Tio. So we got Devin out the way. Tio out the way. Let's talk about Ryan. Yes, Ryan Garcia is a megastar. He is a superstar. He is a YouTube sensation. And all the girls start crying when they see Ryan. Oh, Ryan. It's okay. Don't cry. It's Illuminati. They said, I feel a drug test. I ain't feeling no drug test. I know, Ryan. Just fight all my fights. And when I get on suspension, I'm going to come back. I'm going to be the face of boxing. Yeah, see, the sheep will follow. And if you got someone that's young and can fit the image and mold of the model European standard, like Ryan Garcia, oh my God, that's a hell of a combination. That's Hollywood status. Look how he wears his hair. Negroes can't wear their hair like that because that's not natural. But that is the eye test standard for the European eye. That's as close as they can get, other than Jake Paul, who is not considered a professional boxer. Now, Jake Paul got a fight coming up with Mike Tyson, and people don't even understand the significance of that fight. And you notice who all Jake Paul fights. Niggas. And you notice that he's trying to fight all of our icons. Floyd. Hey, you know about the rumors of steroids. You know he's been disputing this, and they say they're taking tests, but you know that ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been looking for the great white hope since the beginning of boxing, ever since the Jack Johnson days. And if he can take out Mike Tyson, and you can't prove that he's doped up, who's going to avenge our brother like Mike Tyson avenged Ali against Larry Holmes? But Ryan Garcia is not the only man in boxing that's drug cheating. You mean to tell me I don't know, somebody do the research, how many boxers are active? You mean to tell me he's the only man that is dirty in fighting? I think he's the only man that just so happened to miscalculate his calculations. I think Ryan Garcia miscalculated and misjudged. I don't think he was set up. I think he's been cheating since Eddie Reynoso and been getting away with it by pulling stunts. And we broke down the stunts with Pacquiao first, and they made him stop it. That was a cycle off, to me, in my opinion. And even with the mental illness pulling out of, saying I need to take a break, that was a cycle off, in my opinion. And when he got the fight with Tank, and he didn't want to take a tune-up, and they asked Tank, like, why do you think he don't want to take the tune-up to fight Tank? To fight you. And his response was he might be cycling off. Wait, let me clean it up. He probably was drinking too. That was a cycle off. But Tank didn't give a fuck because he still fought him, right? And he still took his left hand away. Ryan Garcia has always had a lethal left hand with speed and power on it. You see him on YouTube doing the YouTube drills and and doing the body punch drills and, you know, letting celebrities, you know, take the drills so we can hit them in their stomachs and all of that shit. He's been had speed. He's been had power. So steroids or no steroids, he beat Devin Haney's ass. Because that left hook should have been game plan for and taken away. But it wasn't, and we saw that in the first round. So I salute Ryan Garcia for all the antics that he does and everything that made him into a megastar, because there's a lot of people sitting at home wishing they were in Ryan Garcia's position. Niggas been fighting against drug cheats since the beginning of boxing. And I hate to say it, they're still cheating to beat us. We got to do whatever we can do to come through and beat people like Ryan Garcia, because he's really Lion Garcia. Hell, they capping up on a fight with Boots Ennis and Ryan Garcia. A lot of Negroes are scared to fight Jerron Ennis. But if he does fight Boots Ennis, I feel like Boots will beat the shit out of Ryan Garcia. But does that matter? Open your eyes. No. He's the only man that stepped up and fought a killer like that or even said his name. Ain't nobody talking about fight Earl Spence and Jerron Ennis except Cody Crowley. Respect. So if he does get beat, it's something that you niggas won't do. You don't want to take the chance, but Mexican fight fans don't care about losses, do they? Nope. Only niggas. Niggas can't lose. Ryan can lose. He's lost before. He's still a mega star. You don't want Devin Haney to be a star. Why not? He's a brother. Tank is a star. Y'all want to keep him in the limelight, but don't want nobody else to share the spotlight. It's selfish. Why can't all these guys be a star? They're a star to me. I love watching these guys fight, each one of them. So we broke down Devin. We broke down T.O. We broke down Ryan Garcia. Who's next? We got Tank and motherfucking Shakur Stevenson left. Who will win out of those two? I think Shakur will beat Tank. That's just my opinion. My opinion matters because this is my YouTube channel. Now you can have your opinion on your YouTube channel and think Tank is the better of the two, but I do not think so. So let's go to Tank. Okay, Tank, you don't have no unification. What the fuck? When is your last unification? You're not fighting nobody. When is Tank Davis' last unification? I don't know. Like you sent a contract to Frank Martin, but not to Shakur. He has the belt. You got that same belt, and it was given to you. Because I think you lost the belt on the scale, right? That's crazy. You got strap season tattooed on the back of your neck. But see, when I think about it, bro, I want to give him his props because a lot of young black niggas in the ghetto never get a chance to make $100,000. A lot of niggas in the ghetto never ever got a chance to see $1 million. let alone $100,000. And this brother got his people out the mud as a youth, a way out. And when you do that in the black community, you gotta keep that silver spoon so you don't have to go back to the paper plates and the plastic forks. And you gotta do whatever you got to do that. Now men, we hold shit in. We don't admit shit, especially short guys. And I come up with a lot of you guys, man. Y'all have complex. You have the Napoleon complex. And when you're a short, tough motherfucker, you always want to, you know what I'm saying, show motherfuckers you a bad motherfucker. Now, this is just true, bro. All you short motherfuckers out there, hit the like button. If you a short motherfucker and you always had to prove yourself to motherfuckers because they thought you was a midget, or they call you a midget, a little short, they used to make fun of you in school, call you shorty, you know you want to prove yourself. Well, just because I'm short, I'll beat your ass. Ain't a man. This is the issues that go on with a lot of people. So if Tank not going through that issue, I salute him. I salute Tank Davis if he doesn't have a short man complex. Because Clarissa Shields show said something about him being short and a midget and not his type, not her type. And, you know, he called her Joanna Man. You know. So yes, that's an issue. Number one, he overcame that issue by being a knockout artist, right? Probably was fighting in the hood because niggas thought it was sweet. That's probably how he came up. Like he was a little bitty nigga that grew up in the ghetto. So of course you gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to talk about his parents, but I don't know where his father was. And his older brother was obviously letting him fight. And his mama probably didn't know about him fighting out there. Probably heard through the grapevine that he was tough. And then you got some OGs that put him in the gym to keep him out of trouble because they probably seen something. And up there in those cities, I salute them. Even though they're in poverty, they have gyms. And a lot of places down south don't have those type of activities for children to get into after school or in the neighborhood. Like you come to Florida, man, you ain't gonna really see too much activity centers for black children. The centers they got down here, it costs a whole lot of money. Now you got the Upton Gym, and I salute them niggas, man. That's why that's the main reason I watch the Rise podcast, because I do the same shit. I like to go get the kids out the hood. I just don't have the money and the status and the buildings to generate nothing like as far as a facility for them. But we be out there in the parks and in the street, and we get the pads and we get the rumbling, and we get the, you know, showing the youth. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be scared to take a lick to the face, man. A lot of niggas shoot. A lot of these kids be shooting because they don't want to get beat up in front of the bitches or they homies, you know. Back in the day when I was coming up, nigga, if you was the best fighter, niggas respected you. Now, if you the best shooter, niggas respect you. So what about in their future? What is it gonna be? The best neck slitter? See, shooting a motherfucker ain't shit. We finna go back to the old days and just start slitting niggas' throats. Yeah, up close and personal killings. Ugh. I don't know. I just know y'all need to open your eyes and see the good and the bad of these boxers. Ain't no shame in my game, nigga. If I was in Tank Davis' shoes, I would not fight Shakur Stevenson. I would not fight Devin Haney at 140. He had to come to 135. I would not fight Teofimo Lopez unless I get him on a hydration clause. And now y'all mad about Tank Davis. They ain't had nothing to do with this hydration clause, with the fact that it's implemented, because the PFC is for real in boxing. And you gotta salute the PFC crew, because without the PFC, boxing would be watered down. Now let me tell you why. Because if you did not protect Canelo, the Mexican fight fans that spend so much money that generate and help the sport go would be get beat up, and he would be considered nothing, because he wouldn't have ducked. They wouldn't have let him duck Boo Boo back in the days, and I think Boo Boo back in the days would have beat him. And Charlo, they would have made him fight Charlo brothers back in the days. Back then, I think they would have beat him. But right now, Charlos are washed up, and I just gotta let y'all know that, boy, if your next fight don't come up, boy, you off my list. I gotta drop you out the ranks, bro. But yo, if the PFC crew wasn't there, Floyd Mayweather probably would have had to fight Winky, a whole bunch of motherfuckers. If the PFC crew wasn't there, nigga, yeah, Jerron Ennis would be getting fights. And Crawford or Earl Spence or somebody would have had to fight. If the PFC wasn't there, we would have been got a motherfucking Devin Haney and Tank fight, a Devin Haney and Shakur fight, a Shakur and Tank fight, all them motherfucking fights right there. Shakur versus Ryan Garcia. If the PFC crew wasn't in full effect and the fight fan wasn't amping up and repeating everything the motherfucker said, man. Yeah, man, it wouldn't be no face of boxing because a lot of these killers out there can beat Tank. And Tank know it. Tank know, man, he done sparred Shakur. Coach Calvin said anybody Shakur spars, he beats. That's why Shakur said it himself. He said, I think I fucked up. I went around and sparred all these motherfuckers, man. They know what I got. Gee, now they don't want to fight me. Lomachenko don't want to fight Duck Shakur. Lomachenko don't want to fight Shakur. Shakur been wanting to fight Lomachenko. When Tank wasn't even thinking about Lomachenko, you understand me? He been wanting to fight this brother, so I don't know. So, but I don't blame Tank for ducking these guys, because I would. When you say Tank ain't ducking them, okay. Tank not ducking them, but he don't go in there and talk to the handlers. He let the handlers pick his fights. And he said it on Gilly and Wallow's show. He said, Gilly said, yo, why you ain't going up? Is you going up in there and asking these niggas, like, yo, give me this nigga? And Tank was like, to tell the truth, no. I just, you know what I'm saying? After a fight, they called me and let me know who they gonna send in, you know, we get ready for it. You're like, damn, G. You know, and they was like, oh, I can respect that. No, I can't, because you the face of boxing. But I understand what you're doing, because, like, taking a dangerous fight will fuck up your money bad. Thanks, Floyd. I'm always say that because Floyd made it where you can't lose. And now that Devin Haney lost, y'all mad that he trying to get that old back. Because he know what it is. That's why they did that in Mexico, or rumored. So with Tank, man, y'all can't blame him for not leaving the PBC, because that's all he know. He a young ghetto nigga. You know what I'm saying? Listen to his reason for wanting to fight Ryan Garcia. That's all you have to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all you have to do, is listen to that reason. And you'll be like, damn, that's why you wanted to fight him? It's because he promised the world that you listen to it. Let me turn it up.
I want to ask you
listen to the reason. I'm going to start this shit over again.
I don't think that he's better than me, so
Listen
my
to the
mindset
reason.
already going in there as win. You know, so
I want to ask you
that's my whole.
I want to ask you a personal question, and I hope I'm not disrespecting nobody, but my mentality has always been the student must kill the master to become the master. So say in the next couple of years, would you fight your mentor to take the title away?
Good question.
And listen, I love you.
Listen, Shaq dunked on.
Oh yeah, I dunked on Patrick.
He dunked on his idol.
Yeah,
Chris
I had
Dudley.
to do it. So,
Was it Chris Dudley?
So my question is, if it was if somebody, let's just say Al Heyman and they raised some big money for the fight, you versus your mentor, exhibition, whatever, bing, 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 would you do it?
I don't think I
Got
do
it.
it.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
Because
Really?
me,
Why not?
Because me, I always look at it like, it was times that we could have sparred in the gym, but I always look at it like I can learn from him, other than, you know, being in there actually fighting him. You know, so I always, every time, even if he's training, my main focus is to watch him, because I can learn so much from him. Talk about Floyd that, you know, instead of just trying to, and I know myself, if I get in there with somebody, it's gonna be a time that I want to hurt them, and I'd rather not do that than just learn from them, and that can, you know, that can actually, you know, draw a line between us if we in that spawn and I catch her with a right shot or anything like that, you know. So even or if he catch me with the right shot.
I'm telling you now, that's a $1 billion fight. It is.
Definitely.
I don't know if you want that.
But Shaq said he was nervous as hell when he dunked on Patrick Ewing, but he did it because he knew he needed to make his mark on the league. And if you go at the best and you best the best, then isn't that where you felt like you got your respect?
Me, Spice, and Devontae, we all from the streets. You're not from the streets, Michelle, so I'm about to put it, I know, but
country.
okay, but I'm about to put it in terms that they understand. Ewing was running the block, right? You know what I mean? He was, you know, bringing them things in. He was doing big stuff. I'm the new kid. I'm coming in with little weight. I want a spot. Now I got to go take a spot. You know what I mean? I'm going to do whatever I want to take a spot. You had your shine. I'm the new kid on the block. I'm taking the block. I'm taking everybody out. So that's always been my mentality. Look, I love Patrick Ewing and all of my favorite guys to death, but I had to go at that rack, and I was always interested in that because, you know, I know he's about money. I know you about getting money. That'll be $1 billion fight. Everybody and their mama gonna tune into that one.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, I agree. So if you say Floyd isn't in your sights because he's your mentor and you don't really want to go there, say you win this fight, who's next for you? Who do you want next?
I say Ron Garcia because he promised the world that we was going to fight next, and then he just vanished off, you know. So I don't think that he's better than me. So my mindset already going in there as win, you know. So
I want to ask you
that's my whole.
I want to ask you a personal question, and I hope I'm not disrespecting nobody, but my mentality has always been the student must kill the master to become the master. So say in the next couple of years, would you fight your mentor to take the title away?
Good question.
And listen, I love you.
Listen, Shaq dunked on.
Oh yeah, I dunked on Patrick.
He dunked on his idol.
Yeah,
Chris
I had
Dudley.
to do it. So,
Was it Chris Dudley?
So my question is, if it was if somebody, let's just say Al Heyman and they raised some big money for the fight, you versus your mentor, exhibition, whatever, bing, 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 would you do it?
I don't think I'd do it.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
Because
Really?
me,
Why not?
Because me, I always look at it like it was times that we could have sparred in the gym, but I always look at it like I can learn from him, other than, you know, being in there actually fighting him. You know, so I always, every time, even if he's training, my main focus is to watch him because I can learn so much from him. Talk about Floyd that, you know, instead of just trying to, and I know myself, if I get in there with somebody, it's going to be a time that I want to hurt them. And I'd rather not do that than just learn from them. And that can, you know, that can actually, you know, draw a line between us if we in that spawn and I catch her with a right shot or anything like that, you know. So even or if he catch me with the right shot.
I'm telling you now, that's a $1 billion fight. It is.
Definitely.
I don't know if you want that.
But Shaq said he was nervous as hell when he dunked on Patrick Ewing, but he did it because he knew he needed to make his mark on the league. And if you go at the best and you best the best, then isn't that where you felt like you got your respect?
Me, Spice, and Devontae, we all from the streets. You're not from the streets, Michelle, so I'm about to put it, I know, but
country.
okay, but I'm about to put it in terms that they understand. Ewing was running the block, right? You know what I mean? He was, you know, bringing them things in. He was doing big stuff. I'm the new kid. I'm coming in with little weight. I want a spot. Now I got to go take a spot. You know what I mean? I'm going to do whatever I want to take a spot. You had your shine. I'm the new kid on the block. I'm taking the block. I'm taking everybody out. So that's always been my mentality. Look, I love Patrick Ewing and all of my favorite guys to death, but I had to go at that rack, and I was always interested in that because I know he's about money. I know you about getting money. That'll be a $1 billion fight. Everybody and their mama gonna tune into that one.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, I agree. So if you say Floyd isn't in your sights because he's your mentor and you don't really want to go there, say you win this fight, who's next for you? Who do you want next?
I say Ron Garcia because he promised the world that we was going to fight next, and then he just vanished off. So I don't think that he's better than me. So my mindset already going in there as win. So
I want to ask you
that's my whole.
I want to ask you a personal question, and I hope I'm not disrespecting nobody, but my mentality has always been the student must kill the master to become the master. So say in the next couple of years, would you fight your mentor to take the title away?
Good question.
And listen, I love you.
Listen, Shaq dunked on.
Oh yeah, I dunked on Patrick.
He dunked on his idol.
Chris
I had
Dudley.
to do it. So,
Was it Chris Dudley?
So my question is, if it was if somebody, let's just say Al Heyman and they raised some big money for the fight, you versus your mentor, exhibition, whatever, bing, 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 would you do it?
I don't think I do it.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
Because
Really?
me,
Why not?
Because I always look at it like it was times that we could have sparred in the gym, but I always look at it like I can learn from him, other than being in there actually fighting him. So I always, every time, even if he's training, my main focus is to watch him because I can learn so much from him. Talk about Floyd that, instead of just trying to, and I know myself, if I get in there with somebody, it's going to be a time that I want to hurt him. And I'd rather not do that than just learn from him. And that can, that can actually, draw a line between us if we in that spawn and I catch her with a right shot or anything like that, so. Even, or if he catch me with the right shot.
I'm telling you now, that's a $1 billion fight. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I don't know if you want that.
But Shaq said he was nervous as hell when he dunked on Patrick Ewing, but he did it because he knew he needed to make his mark on the league. And if you go at the best and you best the best, then isn't that where you felt like you got your respect?
Me, Spice, and Devontae, we all from the streets. You're not from the streets, Michelle, so I'm about to put it. I know, but
country.
okay, but I'm about to put it in terms that they understand. Ewing was running the block, right? You know what I mean? He was, bringing them things in. He was doing big stuff. I'm the new kid. I'm coming in with little weight. I want a spot. Now I got to go take a spot. You know what I mean? I'm going to do whatever I want to take a spot. You had your shine. I'm the new kid on the block. I'm taking the block. I'm taking everybody out. So that's always been my mentality. Look, I love Patrick Ewing and all of my favorite guys to death, but I had to go at that rack, and I was always interested in that because I know he's about money. I know you about getting money. That'll be a $1 billion fight. Everybody and their mama gonna tune into that one.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I got some
So if you
shit
say
for
Floyd
you
isn't
now.
in your sights because he's your mentor.
Oh yeah, fuck what they talking about. Cause Tank ain't trying to see nobody, man. We ain't finna just keep on acting like Tank trying to see somebody. They've been offered Tank $20 million. Turki Alalshikh did that, remember? Well, they didn't say it was the Turki Alalshikh. It was coming from Eddie. And that brings me to Shakur. Like, brother, goddamn well, you bet not sign to the PBC. Because if you do, you know what they gonna do. Tank is their best boy, just like Lomachenko is Bob's best boy. And ain't no way in the world they gonna sacrifice their best boy. to a motherfucker that Floyd Mayweather put on the poster saying, this should be the best fight. This should be the next fight. That's the TBE saying that should be the next fight. So, with that being said, who is the Turki Alalshikh more inclined to work with? I would say Eddie Hearn. I would say the Turki Alalshikh would do business and has done business and will continue to do business. And I believe that is why Jerron Ennis and Bozy Ennis went over there, because Eddie let it be known that he wants to make some fights. And he's with Turki Alalshikh. Same mind states always should stick together. Different mind states will always sever. So with the PBC mind state is fight all the in-house fighters, right? And keep the money in the stable and get everybody, you know what I'm saying, paid and rich for life. I'm not mad at that, but when you got fighters fighting once a year and not getting fights like Jaleel Hackett, there comes the issue. When you got guys giving out cold shots.
The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America. Because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America. Because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America. Because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America. Because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America. Because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card. And I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card.
So you heard the man. I hope nothing stands in our way. When Turkey came on the scene, a lot of people didn't believe him. A lot of people didn't want to believe him because that would mean their favorite boxer would not be able to use. He's not a pay-per-view attraction. There's not enough money for the fight. This is why Turki Alalshikh can save boxing. This is why Jake Paul is good for boxing. This is why a lot of fight fans don't like to admit that they really don't want to admit that they really don't want Turki Alalshikh and Jake Paul on the scene. Because when those two guys came on the scene, it started putting pressure on the big fights because these guys, hey man, he's not a fucking boxer. How you getting all that money? Hey man, Turki Alalshikh coming over here. We don't know if that's real money. Oh man, what the fuck, the $20 million bill, 40 mil bill, millions. 20 million upfront guaranteed, Tank. 20 million upfront guaranteed, Tank. Remember that offer? You ain't never. Blow that dust off that microphone right quick. I say, you ain't never got no $20 million guarantee, nigga. You ain't never got it. So when they offered it to you, you being a ghetto nigga and your fans being ghetto centric and niggas just don't think outside the box was like, that's cap. What the fuck Bill Haney gonna get $20 million from? Fuck Eddie Hearn. He a cap artist. Man, we don't like Eddie. Ain't nobody like Eddie, but now they love what Turki Alalshikh is doing. Everybody love the fights Turki Alalshikh trying to make, except for Tank Davis. So if I was Shakur Stevenson, I would be saying, fuck PBC, fuck Top Rank, I'm going over there where Boots went. And if I can't get a Tank fight, it's going to be known because the Turki Alalshikh got my back. And he's going to put the money up for the fight. So if it's all about the money and if it's not about the belts, come on down. You're the next contestant on Price is Right. The Price is Right with the Turki Alalshikh. He said, fuck Canelo and Benavidez. We're going to make Canelo versus Crawford. And I hope nobody gets in my way.
I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge in big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge in big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge in big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year.
He wants this fight and he's thinking to do it in America, man. Hold up, nigga. Listen, folks, hit the like button.
If we want it, we will do it. From the promoters.
Right there. Hold up.
Canelo versus.
I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and
if we want it, we will do it. I hope no one stands in my way. The promoters. Who is the promoters over here in America? Who is the promoter for Canelo? Who's the promoter for? Who is the promoter for Canelo? That's all I want to know. Is Canelo promoting himself? Or is he with the PBC? How many fights was that contract? It's a 3-fight agreement signed in June between undisputed superstar middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and Alalshikh will come to an end after completing just one fight of the deal. Whoa. That's big. So who is he with? Say he might be back with Matchroom. So if he go back to Eddie, it's a green light. Let me say the 3-fight agreement. Undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo, boxing top star, and Al Haymon's premier boxing champion will be coming to an end after completing just one fight of the deal. Sources with knowledge of separation. Alvarez now free agent, likely headed back to Matchroom, Las Vegas. blah, 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 leading to candidates shot Alvarez and Puerto Rican Edgar Berlanga, who ended a 5-fight knockout drought. Munguia is promoted by Alvarez. Oscar De La Hoya. Alvarez, from September. Okay, when was this dropped? This was dropped February 27, 2024. So that's not, you know what I'm saying? But if it's that date, then I can say this is how the route is going because they said it's over with. So that's cool. That's a green light on that side. You know what I'm saying? But where Crawford at? Crawford ain't with the PBC. They say Crawford is no longer with PBC after his 1-fight deal expired. Crawford is not with the PBC. That shit included, Errol Spence rematch, which broke down, but it stopped the Truth to become the first undisputed welterweight champion of the four-belt era. That win also made him a 2-weight undisputed champion, the first person to ever have done so in four-belt era. Showtime's decision to exit boxing at the end of last year complicated talks over Spence rematch. Listen, Spence fucked the money up just like Devin Haney fucked the money up, G. If that shit wouldn't have happened, they had big plans for Spence, bro. And they wanted Spence to fight Canelo and feed Terrence Crawford to boot. And that would have been a big fight either way it go. It would have been a bounce back fight for Terrence Crawford and a big money fight for Errol Spence, but he shocked the world and showed us that he ain't no joke. Terrence Crawford ain't no joke. And I don't give a fuck what version of a man get in that ring. You gotta give him that honest, that ownership. Because you know your body, you know you ain't ready to get in the ring with no motherfucking killer. And you got in there. Just like if Frank Martin would have pulled out that fight and fought Shakur Stevenson with that hurt hand, don't you know how big he would be? Because I think he would have beat Shakur. Don't you know how big that man would be? And to how much leverage he would have to fight Tank. And Tank wouldn't even fight him if he would have beat Shakur. So he was smart by not fighting Shakur. Don't y'all see? Like, even if you feel like you can beat Shakur Stevenson, don't you know that if you did, they was looking at Shakur like #1 person candidate that can beat Tank Davis, and you beat him? And you know the excuse would be like, oh, it was my hand. But if they offered you would not get a Tank fight, especially if you beat him in the rematch. They would duck you. And I can't prove it. But that's just like, why Frank and not Shakur? But you hear the fucking sheep.
At the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford Cup, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America.
Put the press on them, Turkey. Put the press on them, Turkey. Listen, he said, I hope nobody stands in my way. Because if I want to do it, I'm going to do it in America. Now, like I said before, y'all thought this man was counterfeit when he first came on the scene. I remember I'm the timestamp bandit. I went back and watched you guys' videos, especially the Tank pages. I watched all you guys' pages. And I remember that 20 million offer. Man, 40 mil bill. I remember that shit. Cause where the fuck you gonna get 20 mil from? I remember that shit. That was funny. I like rewatching them shit. I don't be having shit to do on that forklift, so I just listen. And I don't be looking at you guys' faces, but I listen. But the money real. And you guys love his fights that he's putting on. Except for the ones when they try to get Tank involved. But he's on a 6-7 contract deal. You think he still has wiggle room to fuck with the Sheik and get some of that Sheik money? Or he don't want none of that money? He said in an interview that the money they making over there, I don't have to go over there because I can make it over here. Well, the Sheik is coming over here. And you don't have to go over there. Because at first they was fighting in, Africa, Saudi Arabia, all those countries over there. Different continents. And we saw a lot of heart, you know what I'm saying, from guys that were going over there in another country, not knowing if they'll come back. You know, they made fun of Floyd being trapped in Dubai. That's crazy. You know, nobody wants to be held against their will, you know. It's nothing to make fun of, right? Especially somebody that gave us such great highlights and fights over the years and decades. And still about to fight. I think he's about to have a rematch with the guy that headbutted type, and he got knocked out, and they called it a cheap shot. I don't think he's ready for Floyd because I don't even think he's in shape like Floyd is. But oh well, another bag. What the Turkey Alalshikh is putting the press, and I respect that because he's like me, right? He's like you, right? But we don't have the money he has, right? But if we had the money that the Turkey Alalshikh has, we'll be like, hey, Tank, I got 20 million up front if you fight Shakur Stevenson right now. And y'all can have the back end, you know, we'll work deal on the back end, you know, get your pay-per-views and all that shit. But I'm talking about up front right now, just up front, nigga, it's you. Don't worry about what the fuck I get Shakur. You, nigga, I got 20 million for you. That's what I would say. And you know, if I had money like the Turkey Alalshikh, of course I'd give Shakur 22. But it's the back end and the fact that the money that I gave them will make people want to watch the fight. Man, that nigga Paul twice, he got that channel on Rudy's Sport. I don't know where the fuck that nigga got the money from, but he gave Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson $20 million. Man, stop lying. That's cap. I'm telling you, nigga. Look, it's on the news. He got a fucking alarm. He's sounding off. Look at him. He's talking right now. I'm Turkey Alalshikh, and I gave Tank 20 million, and I gave Shakur $20 million to fight in whatever city they want to fight. They can fight in Baltimore. They can fight in Las Vegas. They can fight in whatever, Chicago. I give 40 million upfront and pay-per-view. We make money. I have gas stations in your city. I go to barbecues. I have money. It's not counterfeit. Don't try to get in my way. PBC, tell Tank, fuck you. I come invade America. God bless. Yep. I mean, shit, that's what he basically doing. He putting the foot down. He putting the yeah, he making you niggas step your game up. Hey man, the call in the cry was, man, Tank ain't fighting no black boxers. He ain't fighting no slick black boxers, man. Tank ain't fighting no slick black boxers, man. Shut up, nigga. Frank Martin ain't no motherfucking slick black boxer, nigga. He's only popular because of Earl. Yeah, man. Earl, man. But that's okay. We got a lot more in store. Hold on, let me get this video right. Yeah, that Don't Hurt My Baby posting. Yeah, hey, if y'all make money off my t-shirt, man, idea. I ain't even made this t-shirt. Man, hit my Cash App part twice, nigga. That's all you gotta do for me. You understand me? Hey, Devin, I knew by him being Muslim, and I don't like the fact he ain't do Ramadan. Well, you know, they gonna give him a pass because he's a boxer. But that shit comes back on you, man. You got to be careful with spiritual warfare. And when you being seen out in public, you know, eating when you supposed to be fasting, ain't nobody supposed to be seeing that. You supposed, you know what I'm saying? Like, take that shit serious. You know, more serious than your boxing. And I don't know if Tank serious about his faith. I don't know if he changed his name to Abdul Wahid. And he's serious about it, but he ain't calling himself that. H Money, what's the business, baby? But I'm just keeping it real, G. I need Tank to, you know what I'm saying, simmer down and take Frank serious, my nigga. What's up? I need Tank to take Frank serious. I don't need that nigga to lose to no motherfucking Frank Martin, G. I know people don't even know Frank Martin's past, but I do. I know he a tune-up. I know this nigga ain't fought in none of just what, 2 12-round bouts, bro. That man only fought in 2 12-round bouts. You know what I'm saying? And then he ain't never fought a world champion or fought for a belt before. And y'all see what happened to Artem, nigga. Artem was working that shit. And like I said, man, I don't know. Like every time I see Tank on Twitter, he talking to Shakur, he talking to Floyd, he talking to, yeah, he gonna knock Frank out. Fucking right, nigga. That's the whole plan. That's why they put that nigga in. Listen, go back and watch Frank Martin fights. He always come to win, but watch his fights, bro. He love to put that fucking arm up and duck his head and take niggas shots and counter them. Man, you're not finna be doing that. He's a front runner, so he gonna do good in the beginning. You know, everybody do good against Tank. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. He even said it on Wallow and Gilly podcast. He was like, yo, I want to spar Earl. I want to feel his power. And them niggas was like, what, nigga? Man, you tripping. Who the fuck want to feel Earl Spence power? But that's what Tank do. I don't agree with it, but that's what he a pain freak. A lot of people pain thresholds be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Devin Haney got his ass whooped, that nigga got up. It's just he stumbly when he get rocked in his jaw. Tank short, built center the gravity. When you hit him in his chin and he roll with it, just ain't the same effect. You know what I'm saying? You'll have to give Tank with an accumulation of punches and where he can't counter you back. And probably try to beat him on points. You know what I'm saying? If you beat him on points, then you could probably beat Tank. But Tank coming to knock you out. So, I don't know. I just know the Turki Alalshikh putting the press down, G. Y'all seen what that man said, man. Straight up. I'm trying to go through my videos, man. No, that ain't it. It's a video I had where they was talking. And just, man, I be going by what niggas say, my nigga. I think, no, that ain't it. Is it? I think so. I can't see it though. Hold on, G.
I'm about to cry, I'm about to cry, I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry. Why I'm about to cry. Why I'm about to cry.
Major static.
I'm about to cry, I'm about to cry, I'm about to cry.
But anyway, like I was saying, man, I can't never get over that. You know what I'm saying? That fact that people thought that man money was counterfeit, G. Never underestimate an offer, bro. Never underestimate an offer, my nigga. Because you don't know if it's real or flawed, bro. Like, if we real niggas and you want to keep that street mentality, you definitely got to see about a motherfucker talking about some goddamn $20 million. Shit. You got what? Nigga, let me see it. Alright, I'ma call your bluff. That's what y'all said Shakur supposed to did. Y'all supposed, they say Shakur supposed to call that man bluff, man. On that Devin Haney fight, G. Straight up. They say he's supposed to call the bluff. Hold up. Let me find this shit. I totally agree with that shit. I think Shakur fucked up. I think Shakur should have called that nigga bluff, my nigga. And expose Devin Haney for the cap. That's all you had to do was expose Devin Haney for the cap. You go back and you expose that nigga for the cap, and then they be like, oh, well, nigga, I thought you offered him 25%. Why you move up to 140? He took the offer. He said, yeah, okay, send it here. That's all you had to do, Shakur. That's all you had to do. You're like, hey, my nigga, okay, you know what I'm saying? You gonna send me this fucked up contract? I bet. Let's go. Let's run it. Let me get all them belts. Yeah, then you would have had that motherfucker looking stupid. But you didn't do that, Shakur. You didn't do that, nigga. You went to the WBC and people made fun of you for doing that. I can't blame you. You supposed to. You did what you had to do. You did what a lot of people would do. When a lot of people judge Shakur and ain't never been in them type of situations to make big money deals like that. $1 million deals like that. And I haven't even been in a situation to make $1 million deals like that. But I've been in situations where I made big money deals like that. And I know you got to go for what you know, man. Man, it ain't nothing. A motherfucker came to me one day like, hey, part twice. Let me hold $10,000. I say, hold? For what? Well, really, I need you to invest in this food truck. And then, boom, we can get a whole bunch of them motherfuckers. I already got this one. I be selling seafood, fried seafood out this one. I'm like, man, I'm not finna motherfucker sell no goddamn seafood, man. But I turn right around, my homeboy say, hey, man, I need to pay the plug. I need $10,000. Here, just give it back. No interest. It's my nigga. Bad business decisions. Now this dude got chains of food trucks. Fast forward a decade later, and my prison sentence, I don't have no food truck. I got a YouTube channel, and I've written movies that I haven't recorded, but that's in the process. So you see where we at in life now? Bad choices in life. When you expose your flaws, you let the youth know that they can learn off of your mistakes. Then you have the people that say, "Oh, you dumbass nigga." But you just need to make sure you make the right decisions when the opportunity arrives in your life. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from your parents' mistakes. Learn from your homeboy mistakes. You know what I'm talking about? That's all you got to do. So I'm cool with the ridicule. But Turki Alalshikh making power moves. I can't get over that video. Let me play that shit again, G.
And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this.
Easy victory for Tank.
From the promoters.
Tank gonna probably get touched probably a couple rounds, but you know that nigga can take shots. He gonna figure that nigga out and bless his game, boy. Can't wait. And I just don't like the fact they could have let Tank fight another Migo, put him in there with a white boy, man. Why you gotta fight a nigga on Juneteenth? All right. Oh, you think Frank gonna get him? I don't know. Hey, I don't know. He might. He might. That's a big, mighty might, though. That's a big might, boy. Frank gonna have to come out like motherfucking guns blazing and hope he get him out of there early, bro. I'm telling you, man. That's the only way I see Frank coming through. Hey, Frank. Hey, I'm sorry, bro. You know you ain't gonna last no 7-8 rounds or no. Okay, your sparring match was what? Four rounds? I don't know how many rounds it was. I think they said they stopped it. Y'all was fighting. Y'all wasn't boxing. This man finna get in there and use the whole ring on your ass, man. But if you don't believe me, man, just listen to the sheet right quick while I take me a smoke break.
We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America, because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it in the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope.
Yeah, nigga. We on the line with Quavo. Now, this is the guy that predicted that Ryan Garcia was going to beat Devin Haney. And now he is predicting that Frank Martin will beat Tank Davis. So tell him what's on your mind, Quavo.
If you really study boxing and actually study that man, Frank Martin, yeah, he was a good fighter, and all the fights he has won been solely based off of just purely he's a good boxer. He outboxed and he's a better boxer than all the fights he done won. We're not taking into account the fact that this man has just added one of the best trainers to his arsenal, one of the best defensive trainers at his arsenal. He already was gifted athletic. He already was gifted on the offensive end, on the punching. Now he actually got a game plan how to defend against one of the best premier attackers. Like, man, come on, like. I feel like people sleeping on Frank Martin, how they slept on Ryan Garcia, and y'all keep sleeping on him. He's gonna wake up in one of them late rounds, and he's gonna surprise everybody. If he don't win, he's not gonna roll over forward. It's gonna be a good ass down to the decision.
Ooh.
No one's been knocked out, in my opinion.
No knockouts?
No knockouts. It's gonna be a good ass boxing match. They got two of the best trainers fighting against each other. Come on now. One offensive mind and one defensive mind. So there ain't gonna be no knockouts. It's gonna be a good ass chess match in that ring.
So this where I disagree at, because I don't think Frank can last 12 rounds.
Why you feel like that?
He only fought in 2 12-rounders.
It's the biggest fight of this man's career. I feel like I feel like he putting in the work to be able to last that long.
I think Frank gonna try to get him out early.
I feel like if Frank would have had his old trainers, his own mindset, yeah, he'd go with that route, try to get him out there early. But if you try to get Devontae Tank Davis out of the fight early, you ain't gonna just gas yourself and get your ass knocked out.
That's what's gonna happen, G.
That's it.
Anybody
in the boxing world can see that is not the way to approach that fight. So I don't think it's gonna go down like that.
And that's how Tank get his knockouts, when niggas try to come get him. But Tank, yeah, but Tank gonna put some pressure on you now. He gonna put the high guard up. He gonna put the high guard up and work your body and try to counter you when you throw your shit sloppy.
And the reason why I feel like that's not really gonna work, as far as just how it works against everybody else, Frank Martin got that reach and can keep him off that.
That's all he got is reach. I'm glad you said that.
But that's one big aspect of Javonte's fight. That's how he overpower everybody, knock him out though. If you can't line that up to get them body shots in early, then that knockout power is not coming. He's not gonna be winning. See what I'm saying? Javonte gonna have to fight a whole different style for this fight. And I feel like the two styles each other got is gonna be a perfect matchup for a perfect boxing match.
I hope so. I don't want to see no blowout. Everybody want to see the man get knocked out. I want the shit to go 12 rounds. I'm just scared it won't.
I feel like it's gonna be a good even boxing match.
I'm just scared it won't go 12 because the nigga ain't really experienced, man. He got tested by the last dude. He was some trash. Artem, yeah, that nigga was losing after the 10th round. And then he came back and worked his ass, but still. I don't know. We gonna see.
Yes, sir.
But hey, appreciate the call, nigga. I hope you're wrong, shit.
I know half of the world hope I'm wrong, but hey.
This nigga is the black cat. You bad luck. Let me get off the phone with your motherfucking ass.
They're doing something like this.
That nigga tried to black cat Tank Davis, man. We need Tank to win, y'all. We need Tank to win because I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, he got a rematch, Frank, and now we got another weight for Shakur or Devin or Teofimo or Lomachenko or whoever Tank finna fight next. Whoever Tank finna fight next, they gonna have to wait. If Frank Martin beat Tank Davis, they gonna have to wait on a fucking rematch. And that's even more waiting. We ain't trying to wait for that. We want to see Shakur. Whoa. But you got the Turki Alalshikh over here in America, so that shit that Tank said about I ain't got to go to them other countries to get money over there, I can get it over here. Shit, the Turki Alalshikh over here. What's up? Ain't no excuse, man. We need to see these fights, bro. And like I said, Frank Martin, tough guy, hurt Tank in sparring, that's good confidence-wise. But you only fought in 2 12-round bouts. You never fought a world champion. You never fought for a title. And you got tested by Artem, a guy that Shakur's about to fight. And you know what I'm saying? The man said something about your girl in the crowd, and I seen how you went to looking for her. So it's like, nigga, you got so much on your mind. You've never been on a big stage like this. I know your nerves are, going crazy. But I don't know. I think his nerves are going to make him go out there and try to hurt Tank. And that's how people get knocked out, especially when they being successful against Tank. Leo Santa Cruz was being successful. I think he even knocked him down. They said it was a slip. I keep rewinding it and seeing 4 punches landed. And one of the punches landed in Tank's neck. But Leo Santa Cruz got trigger happy and kept throwing the same punch over and over that was landing, and Tank timed it. And by him having so much power, knocked his ass out. We thought he was about to die. He couldn't get up. They had to fucking wake him up. That's how much power this man got. So, and we also seen that shit with Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was getting Tank. Yeah, working him. Even had the corner talking about, you okay? Floyd, come over there. You losing on the scorecard. And you're like, what? It's the unofficial scorecard, but you losing on the scorecard. And you're like, oh, man, don't worry about that shit. And then he went in there, handled his business. Got him out of there. And I can say the same thing with Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia in the beginning of that fight was handling his business, catching Tank. Tank came on in like round 3 or 4, started working his mojo. Hector Garcia bounced back and had his hands low the whole fight. No respect for Tank, and was working. And I believe, just my opinion, that it was a close fight. It wasn't no blowout by Tank. And the round before the Meek Mill incident, he was working. And the round that Meek Millie started acting silly, he was working, winning that round. And I just keep going back, rewatching that fight is key. Because after the fiasco, or before the fiasco, Tank kept looking in the crowd. And we all heard Coach Calvin say, Tank don't be focused. Yeah, you see the fights, he be looking in the crowd. He don't be paying attention to Coach Calvin. He looking for this. Man, Madonna was at a Tank fight, brother. So he looking in the crowd. Next thing you know, Meek Millie acting silly. Why he looking at Meek Millie in the fiasco when it's a man in front of him looking directly at Tank that could have took advantage of Tank and did not. Therefore, I rate Hector Garcia a B-level boxer because the referee was even looking at Meek Millie acting silly. And Hector Garcia has a responsibility to hit Tank wherever he can to score a knockout blow or something to hurt Tank with. And even if you say it's wrong, a low blow is sometimes necessary in boxing. But the fact that Tank wasn't focused on Hector Garcia lets us know that he wasn't worried about him for real, for real. Oh, his boxing IQ is that great. You couldn't do that against a Shakur Stevenson with a higher boxing IQ. Or a person like Pitbull Cruz, because he doesn't stop coming. So he's not worried about anybody in the crowd. A Pitbull 2 rematch right there would have been significant, because if Meek Millie would have been acting silly in the crowd there, the distraction would have hurt Tank. But then you have to understand, after the break, the second wind effect. People don't want to bring that up, but you do catch a second wind, especially if you're losing the fight. That's significant. Same way with Devin Haney getting the point taken away from Ryan Garcia. That was heaven sent. The referee doesn't do that. Devin Haney gets stopped or maybe hurt and maybe put out of boxing or maybe even, God forbid, killed in the ring. So when you see that in the Hector Garcia fight, you're like, wait a minute. It took a long time. Then when they get back to fighting and the referee say time in, what Tank do? Yell over the glare, yeah, I got your ass now. Or whatever he said, he shook his head, yeah. So he talking to Garcia. He got his wind back. He got his senses. He knows now what to do. It's time to go on and get him up out of there. And he blinded him. But that was in like the last 15, 20 seconds of the fight. Hector Garcia still won that round. And why were the people going at it in the crowd with Meek Millie? It was who? Yes, you know who the fuck it was. It was the Russell brothers. The Russell brothers from round one was talking shit in the crowd. And Meek Millie is a groupie, a fan of Tank. You can't talk about Tank like that. Philly, son, I got all my crew here with the same outfit on, G. I don't care if you're a boxer. I don't care if your whole family box. You talk about Tank like Tank ain't getting beat up. Tank love to take shots. Tank like taking them shots. Pause. No Diddy. I'm only gonna say that one time because I don't like people searching my sentences for homosexual vocabulary words. I'm OG, so I say shit like nigga getting on your ass or that nigga was getting on Tank ass, boy. Because it was true. And that's what the Russell brothers was in the crowd talking shit, telling y'all, nigga, yeah, man, y'all see this shit. Y'all go listen to the Russell brothers and what they said happened in the crowd. And Meek Millie didn't like that. And that distraction saved a great fight. Like, we could have had a great fight without that distraction, man. Momentum is everything in boxing. So with Frank Martin, I see him doing that, bro. What Hector Garcia was doing. Hector Garcia came up in weight and was handling his business until he got blinded. So I wants to see that. Y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe. The Russell brothers, man. Y'all know them boys from DC. Yeah, Hector Garcia was doing this thing, man. Y'all be, hey, listen. Anytime you see a motherfucker, hold on, let me see what Hector Garcia, what Gary Russell said. Shout out to the Bullet Gotti show. subscribe. I just subscribed. I'm finna use their video.
A pause, and now fighters are being taken away. I believe that is Meek Mill in the crowd. Meek Mill being taken away. I'm not sure if he was the cause of the fight, but he is in that group walking out. So a delay, and you see there you see the Russell Gary Russell and Vito Malecki Jr., one of the members of his team. Steven Espinoza, I don't know what transpired here. Did you see what happened? Hey. Come on, guys. You see that? Hey. Whoa. Relax, y'all.
That's Meek Mill and them getting into it with the Russell brothers. Like the Hector Garcia fight.
Video. Please make sure that you like,
hey,
share,
man.
subscribe.
I'm trying to figure out what the Russell brothers said about it, though. Ho. Let me go to Fight House.
I'm in here watching this Tank fight, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. We like, what round we in? We 5 rounds in. This shit is, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I see why they don't want him to fight me though, cause he might still get this dude up out of here. Hopefully he does, but from what I'm seeing, he's slow as a motherfucker. He's super left-footed. And just his favorite part is Tank's mom's commentary. Y'all better stop talking shit, talking about something. Tank can do this and that, the third with me, man. This shit terrible. Y'all see what the fuck I'm saying. He gotta stay fuck away from me, man. 5th round, man. He just landed a good shot, though. But, man, this shit ain't looking too good, y'all, man. Y'all might want to keep y'all favorite fighters away from me, man. I'm just coming from real talk, man. Let me show y'all this shit real, man. They say front row center. Hey, we front and center.
Them niggas right up there, they see that.
I got Tank, man. I got Tank. Look, my little brother telling them what to do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, we got, I ain't even gonna hold you, keep it 100. We coaching your favorite fighter, man. They listening, man.
They listening.
You know, so it's levels to this shit, man. Let's go, boys. Turn it up. Yeah, man. Oh, you trying. Now, y'all stay tuned, man. Hold on, let me show y'all what's happening. My little brother showed Tank when he shoot his right hand, when he shoot his left hand, to bring his hook right behind it. So let's see if he listens. It's there all day, Tank. Ooh, he got touched with that. Oh, yeah. Good job, Tank. Oh man, his feet. I told you, bro. Like he don't got no good feet work right now. Like his legs, man. Like his legs not all the way down. Yeah, like his foot in the foot positioning, and I don't know, man. Like his sense of distance, range, balance, and all that shit. I can't tell y'all this, man. You can't fuck with me, man. He couldn't do shit with me even with my own fucked up my last fight. This shit savage. Nah, this shit do look good. This shit sad, man. Y'all stay tuned. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't even like Boost performance. And Boost performance is better than this. Yeah, man. Shout out to Boots. Shout out to Boots. You know what I'm saying? I like
Meek Mill don't like what they saying.
I really honestly didn't like his performance. I thought he could have did much better than what he did. He could have been much better. I think his fight was better than Tank's fight. This fight was a better than Tank's fight, but a lot of these guys gotta get back in the gym, man, to get to the basics. Constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? We're perfectionists at what we do, so it's constructive criticism. This ain't me talking shit. Maybe a little bit, especially maybe a little bit about Tank, because he can't fuck with me with the performance that he's doing right now. I would have broke my foot up in it with just the left. I ain't going to But yeah, man, good card, man. Tank get in touch with some stupid shit. In touch right now. Like this is an actually good fight. I say it. Ooh. Good bodies, man. Ooh. It worked, Tank. Oh, good body. Oh, yeah, touched again. See what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, you better. The lack of defensive discipline, the lack of ring generalship, and shit like that is all the shit that you need to have to fuck with somebody like me. Tell him what to do, bro. Over to the motherfucker, bro. You turn to your hook. With the hook, bro. You need a jab, stiff jab to the body, whip the brick hook upstairs. That's it, that's all. Tank need to shoot a jab, shoot his brick to the body, and fire his hook upstairs, and old boy be at the end of it all motherfucking day. Anytime Tank shoot his left hand to the body and bring his right hook upstairs, it'll be there all day, but he don't see it. He don't see it as levels to this shit right now. He's just fighting. Intellect over athleticism. Remember that, y'all. Intellect over athleticism. Actually, AKA Steven Espinosa.
Sitting next to Stevie.
Hey, you pretty good.
Y'all auditioning for a new commentator role. I hear you.
Nah, man, I'm a fight at heart, man. I would be a great commentator because I believe in order to be a good commentator, you gotta be a good fighter. In order to be a good commentator, then you gotta understand fights. You gotta understand the sport. You know, so.
Yeah, nigga. Them niggas was breaking it down the Tank at the fight, nigga. Shout out to
All these eat away.
Shout out to Head Busting Boxing. That was the video right there for that one. You know what I'm saying?
But from what I'm seeing, he's slow as a motherfucker. He's super flesh-footed.
But this was Gary Russell where they was at the fight while they got into it with Meek Millie.
Y'all better stop talking shit, talking about some Tank can do this and that to third with me, man. This shit terrible. Y'all see what the fuck I'm saying. You gotta stay fuck away from me, man. Fifth round, man. He just landed a good shot, though. But, man, this shit ain't looking too good, dog, man. Y'all might want to keep y'all favorite fighters away from me, man. I'm just coming for real talk, man.
This the Hector Garcia fight, though.
Let me show y'all this shit real, man. They say front row and center. Hey, we front and center.
Hold up.
But hey man, good card, man. Tank get in touch with some stupid shit. In touch right now. Like this is actually a good fight. I say it. Ooh. Good bodies, man. It worked, Tank. Oh shit. Oh, good body. Oh, yeah, touched again. See what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, you better. The lack of defensive discipline, the lack of ring generalship, and shit like that is all the shit that you need to have to fuck with somebody like me. Tell me what to do, bro. Over to the motherfucker, bro. You turn to your hook. Ready with the hook, bro. You need a jab, stick jab to the body with the brick hook upstairs. That's it, that's all. Tank need to shoot a jab, shoot his brick to the body, and fire his hook upstairs, and old boy be at the end of it on motherfucking day. Anytime Tank shoot his left hand to the body and bring his right hook upstairs, it'll be there all day, but he's not, he don't see it. He don't see it as levels to this shit right now. He's just fighting. Intellect over athleticism. Remember that, y'all. Intellect over athleticism. AKA Steven Espinosa. Hey, you pretty good. Y'all auditioning for a new commentator role. I hear you. Nah, man, I'm a fighter at heart, man. I would be a great commentator because I believe in order to be a good commentator, you gotta be a good fighter. In order to be a good commentator, then you gotta understand fights. You gotta understand the sport, you know. So we in here, man, y'all.
Yeah, nigga. Man, Meek Mill up in there acting silly. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, that's all the Russell brothers was doing, my nigga. But even though they was talking shit, you had one of the brothers up there trying to coach Tank at the fight because they felt like Tank wasn't shooting the brick to the body and coming up top with that hook early enough. He ended up doing it later after he got his second win, but yeah, that's what the incident was about, G. And niggas be looking over that shit and don't want to rewatch that fight. That's all I'm saying. That's a great fight to rewatch. I give y'all good fights to rewatch, and y'all don't want to rewatch the motherfucking fights. That's all I'm asking. I ain't telling you to agree with me. I'm just saying, open your eyes, man. Open your motherfucking eyes, man. These be some good motherfucking fights. Y'all be just looking at the fucking last part of the fight, G. You gotta look at the whole fucking fight, my nigga. And see, it's okay to use the triangle theory sometimes. And it's okay not to use it, but you got to use it all the time because you got to put a person like Shakur or Teofimo Lopez in that situation having that type of success against Tank like Hector Garcia was having success, and he was moved up in weight against Tank. And then that distraction where Tank was looking into the crowd, I don't see another fighter not taking advantage of that. I seen the referee and I broke the video down and stopped it and made you see the clock. It was 10 seconds before the referee even stopped and made a time to attempt to stop the fight. And it was like 3 to 4 seconds where Hector Garcia was still looking at Tank. I stopped the video and showed you with his guard up, and Tank had his hands up looking at Meek Millie acting silly. Because the Russell brothers was out there talking shit. And we seen the shit on film. And we seen they whole crew had the same outfit on, and they got escorted out the building. Now, I'm an OG, but I've been an athlete my whole life. And I know that when you catch your second win, you back. Shout out to Muhammad Ali, the rope-a-dope. That's what the fuck it is, man. And if you can get a chance to rewatch that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight, you will be thanking the referee for taking those points away from Ryan Garcia. Because without taking the points away, he probably would have did some major damage to Devin Haney, and that's nothing that we would want to report about. Not me. I like Devin Haney. I like Tank. I wouldn't want none of them niggas to take that type of punishment. So open your eyes, man. This referee has been in bloodbaths. The last one was the Tim Tszyu fight. He also judged refereed the Earl Spence and the Terrence Crawford fight. So this brother knows about blood, man. He knows about brain damage and niggas getting hurt. He gave the point. Great rest, great second win. It still didn't work, but at least he got enough senses to fight and defend himself better than what would have happened if it was just a warning. Or what if it was a no call and he just continued to let the fight happen? What if it was Jack Reese in there refereeing? Somebody that I wish would referee a Shakur fight, or even the Frank Martin and Tank fight. Who's the referee for the Frank Martin, for the Tank and the Frank fight? Who's the referee for the Shakur fight? Who would you want to have? Trying to tell y'all, man, but yo, hit the like, hit the subscribe, you know the vibe. The most shadow banned Negro on YouTube. Hit my like, hit my subscribe, get me up to 1,000 to 1,000,000 subscribers. And don't forget, I'm the timestamp bandit, and I remember that video that you deleted. And now you got a Stone Cold Tank page. Ain't that a bitch? But it's all good because we always create new timestamps. And if you were flawed before, you're gonna be flawed some more. So open your eyes and subscribe to the vibe. Yes, sir.
Now tell me, downgrade my pain, girl. You don't really wanna know how much I'm hurting, that's for sure. Now tell me, you say you're hurting more than me, I think I hurt worse. I'm about to break it down to you in the first verse. You can judge me, but don't you grade my pain. Just because I'm missing mine, bitch, I feel pain. What you talking about? Feel like someone knocked me out.
The end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we want it huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. I hope no one stands in our way to doing something like this, from the promoters or the belt, because in the end, if we want it, we will do it. And be honest with you, I am working in Canelo and Crawford card, and I want this fight. And we are thinking to do it in America because we wanted huge and big stadium and big pay-per-view. We want to do it at the end of the year or the beginning of the second year. The end